when it comes to Marvel Studios' Moon Knight leading into the series, we heard about multiple potential MCU cameos that would be in the show. One in particular that every single scooper out there ran with was the Hulk Bruce Banner showing up in the end. Now obviously, that didn't happen. Now the director of the series confirms 2 big crossovers and cameos were in fact scrapped, but they were scrapped so early in the process that they never actually were shot. So this comes at us directly from the director of Moon Knight, Mohamed Diab, who sat down with the Wrap to talk a little bit about the development of the series, all those rumors, all the leaks, and of course the speculation out there, and connecting to the bigger Marvel Studios universe, and if there was any truth to any of those crossovers. And while he wouldn't say whether any of that is true or false, he did shockingly reveal that, yeah, 2 big crossovers and cameos were scrapped, but they were scrapped before they ever actually started to shoot the thing. And he reveals that originally, the series opened up with a big cameo, and the story ended with another big cameo. But this was during the course of development, and they felt like they needed to put it in there. But as he explains, Marvel Studios was very much willing to let them do whatever they wanted. So as they continued to develop the script and further the character, they realized that including things like that just kind of took away from Moon Knight and the story that they had to tell and could be distracting. So ultimately, he reveals it as a conscious effort to step away from that realm and focus on the character and not include any of these big cameos. There'll be a few references to the bigger MCU. Largely, they wanted it to be a story that stands on its own and it isn't filled with glorified cameos or things like that. And I will say that by the time Moon Knight finished, I honestly appreciated that there wasn't a big cameo or setup for something else. You know, one constant complaint you see that people constantly make about the MCU, and this goes against what they used to complain about before, is why do I need to watch X project now just to know what's happening next? Why am I going to be forced to watch this coming down the road to understand this other thing? But before it used to be, well, why can't everything cross over and mention one another? We want this to all connect and be important. So suddenly they went back to the old way. Why not just make a standalone story set in this universe and it doesn't have to backpedal or feature glorified cameos, and people get upset over it? I truly just think people are upset at this point just to be upset and to complain and nothing else, because that's what it seems like to me. I honestly wish and hope and pray that Blade doesn't become some sort of glorified cameo for other MCU characters to sell the film, because Blade should stand on his own. He doesn't need Black Knight. He doesn't need anybody else. Blade needs Blade. Moon Knight needed Moon Knight. Werewolf by Night needs Werewolf by Night. But if that's a proto-Midnight Suns, okay, that's fine. If that's going to introduce another character like Elsa, cool, I'll take it. But making it giant glorified cameo fests, that's not really what personal stories are about. That's just fanboy mentality and fanboy demand.